Let me try again. My name is Detsky Graffam, and I'm the director of a short film called 90 Degrees North. I got into filmmaking because my parents were both theatre people. I tried to first become something completely different as an act of rebellion. I wanted to become a biologist or something. And then I realized, no, it's in my blood. I need to be doing something artistic. So I decided for film, so I wouldn't be quite in the same niche as my parents. But my fascination with film started when I was 7. I moved to England, and I'm half German. I didn't speak any English at all. And I was taken to the Odeon Leicester Square to see Empire Strikes Back. And I'd come from this tiny little village in the middle of nowhere in Germany, and I went into this huge cinema and I saw this bombastic blockbuster that completely petrified me and fascinated me for the rest of my life. And that's why our production company is actually called K17 Films, because that's the seat number that I sat in when I saw The Empire Strikes Back the first time in the Odeon Leicester Square, London. Okay, so my short film that I directed, 90 Degrees North, is about a man who gets stuck on a traffic island, a man-eating traffic island. I came to the idea when I moved back to Germany in 2008, and I'd just been in London for many, many years, and I was struck by how the Germans wait at traffic lights all the time. So you can be standing on the edge of a road at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's completely empty, there's nothing in sight, and there we all are waiting for the green man to arrive. And the Germans are very, very, very regimented about this. Most of the Germans are. So I came up with this idea of this alter ego traffic light that is a man-eating beast. He gets stuck on it for a whole year. Not only did that create problems with creating the different seasons, we had to have, winter, summer. It's quite an ambitious project because, number one, we had to find a location that was remote, that had no traffic on it, that the road was wide enough for trucks to pass on either side, and a traffic island could fit in the middle of it, and it had to be surrounded by pine trees because we needed to have winter scenes and we didn't have the budget to allow all the leaves to fall down, so they had to be evergreen all the time. And on top of that, as I just mentioned, we had a whole year. This guy's on it a whole year, so we had to create different seasons. We had to have summer, autumn, spring, winter there, and we had to snow the whole set in as well.
Any type of message you're trying to get out of this film?
When talking about the message of the film, it's always a tricky one because I really prefer the audience to kind of see their own message in the film. And if I haven't communicated the message in the film, then I'm a bad filmmaker. But maybe I can say that when I first had the idea, it was more of a joke. I suddenly thought, well, what would happen if 2 Germans were suddenly stood in front of a traffic light that never changed? What would they do? How would they talk to each other about this? And would they eventually cross the road despite the fact that the light was red? But then I did a little bit of research, and I heard a lot that traffic lights are used as an analogy for democracy. They regulate the harmonious interchange between pedestrians and vehicles. But if there's some sort of imbalance, the question is always who controls the lights, and if there's an imbalance, then that democracy suddenly becomes nasty, and in this case it's to the detriment of the pedestrians. They're trapped because the traffic lights are not on their side. So it has something a little bit to do with that. It has a little bit to do with also with fast living and how we live our lives and follow values and work, and we spend a lot of our time serving things that maybe don't make us happy.
Any advice you could give to future filmmakers, students?
I think the best advice, which a lot of people say, is that you have to be passionate about what you're telling. It took me a long, long time to tailor the story to that which I wanted it to be, and I was constantly passionate about it. I really just liked the idea, and that gave me the energy to continue pursuing it, because it took ages. It's ridiculous how many hours I invested in making this film. It took us years to realize, and it's a short film, isn't it? It's not going to make any money. It's a calling card, of course, but the main motivation is that I wanted to tell a story, and I think that gives you a lot of energy and it makes people come on board as well, which is the most important thing, because we had a crowdfunding campaign, we got funding, because I think people sensed that me and my team were all into the idea, we liked the idea. There's so many thank yous I could say now, and I'm probably going to forget people, but of course there's the Median Board in Berlin, which gave us the part of the money, all our Start Next supporters, our crowdfunders who helped us make the film, and of course a big shout out to my wife, who's the producer, Marianne Graffam, and to all of the team, Marlene Ortner, who's the production designer, Hanno Moritz Kuhner, who's the cinematographer, and of course the actors, which all these people work for free. So that's Carsten Clemens, who played the lead, and Jürgen Haug, who played Kuba, his companion on the island. They all dedicated their time and energy for no money. And then of course we had lots of sponsors. We had Bertoni and Karl Gross gave us the clothes, and Swaco gave us the traffic lights. They're a global traffic light company. And yeah, I think that's it. You can follow us on Facebook. If you search 90 Degrees North, you'll find us, and also on our website k17films.com. The film is not online yet because we're still doing the festival rounds, but once we've done the festivals then it'll go online, but at the moment we're not allowed to put it online yet. As I'm half from Germany, I'm going to say this in German, okay? Vielen, vielen Dank, Palm Springs Shortfest, für eine ganz, ganz tolle Zeit. War super. Danke, danke, danke und tschüss.